Hey, good afternoon there, sweet peas. Basic prepper mom Myra again. Twice in one night, I know. So I wanted to talk about something that really is bothering me, even though I don't live in that area. So I want to talk about Chicago. I know, why are we talking about Chicago? Well, in case you don't know, Chicago has lost 4 Walmarts and a Whole Food, and I believe Aldi is gone as well. Basically, Chicago has lost all of their grocery stores because of theft, because of no consequences with shoplifting, and these companies are losing just so much money that they've literally pulled out of Chicago. So the people of Chicago have nowhere to go get their groceries, have nowhere to get food. So the mayor of Chicago is now wanting to implement a city-funded grocery store for the area. Now, the funny thing is, it would be city-owned and city-run, but there will be no local tax dollars going to that grocery store. It will all be federal and state tax. No local county or city tax is going to be going to that. And they're going to get all kinds of grants for it, which y'all, I've dealt with a lot of nonprofits, and I don't recall any grants that allow you to open up a grocery store. So there's got to be some backdoor hole-in stuff that they're going to be crawling through to get this grant. But I'd be really curious as to, okay, they're going to open up a city-run grocery store. So what makes them think that the crime is going to be any less? People are still going to steal, right? How are you going to fund, or not fund, but how are you going to supply that grocery store? What suppliers are you going to use? And how is the infrastructure of this going to work? Because I don't know about you, but it just all seems very odd. Here's my problem with this situation. They claim that they have pulled out of the areas because of theft and no consequences with crime. The crime is so bad there, which I have no doubt. We in California also have I don't know what you call it, but it's basically if you shoplift less than $1,000, then we can't go after you. We can't really prosecute you. We can't really chase you down. There's no consequence. So you could steal $999 worth of stuff and we can't touch you. And literally walking, like even in my area, my small town here, I literally watched somebody walk out the front door with stuff. And I go, I told the checker, hey, they just walked out with, she goes, yeah, I know, I saw. She continues checking my food, and I'm like, but she goes, yeah, we're not allowed to do anything. We're not allowed to go after, we're not allowed to do anything. So I'm like, are you kidding me? Really? My daughter watched 2 homeless men in our local, one of our local little department stores. She's standing there on the phone with me watching these 2 men break open the glass case and steal some phones out of it, while she had my youngest daughter and her boyfriend at the time go try to find an associate to stop them. She's on the phone with me going, yes, I'm watching them right now. They're breaking into the case and they're stealing the phones. They literally stole like 4 or 5 phones and walked out the door. Just popped the glass, walked out. The associate comes out. My daughter was like, hey, they just stole some stuff. And they're like, yeah, we can't do anything about it. We're not supposed to go after them. So, okay, thanks for letting us know. And like left the area. Didn't even check to see what they stole. Didn't like mark anything. Just left. Yeah, I just, okay. We had some women at the same department store literally walk out with 2 cartfuls of clothes. Can't do anything. I watched at our local Walmart, some guy try to walk out with a couple of electric scooters and some clothes and some other stuff, try to walk out the front door. Well, he should have been able to walk out, but literally the lady that was standing there that worked there was like, you're not leaving. I need to see a receipt. And he was like, oh, and kind of got, very upset and angry and started yelling and cussing at her. And finally walked out, like he left and he was trying to steal the stuff. But I guarantee you that she probably either got reprimanded or lost her job for stopping him, because the stores are saying, nope, if you're an employee, don't stop anybody. That's not your job. That's not what you're for. That's not what you're there for. We can't do anything about it anyway. So the loss is absolutely just huge. And in California, this is what I'm afraid of. In California, because our wonderful governor has passed these laws that says that you can't prosecute anyone for under $1,000, and people are just walking out of stores and nobody's there to stop them, there's no consequence. So at what point do all of these corporations in areas decide that they're losing money? You know what? We're just going to go to online. Everything's online. We'll do an online store. Because most of them you can order online anyway, right? What point and what areas do these stores, whether corporate or not, do these stores that supply stuff to us decide to pack it up and fold in the town? And what does that mean? Now, I think Chicago is going to be a testing ground, because I believe that it's not just the mayor who has this city grocery store idea, the city run. I don't think it's just him. I think he's got some backing here. So I believe that this is a test. You know what? We're going to claim that this is why we're doing this, and we're going to take this and we're going to do this and put it in this area, in like a really high crime area, a really highly densified area. And we're just going to, plop this down here and see how this works. Because I guarantee you, other people that are in charge are going to watch this and see exactly how it works and how it happens. So now, if we end up with state-run, government-run, city-run, doesn't matter, grocery stores in our area, what is now stopping them from limiting what you can and cannot have for your family? What is stopping them from controlling what you get, because that's all that's in the store? We're now going to only carry this, this, and this. Because it's a government-run store, we can do that. So if you want food, there's nowhere else around. We're in a major metropolitan city. There is no other option for you to get food rather than to go to the store and get food. So now that that's your only option, guess what? Now we're going to limit what you can and cannot have, but we're also going to limit your choices and your selection. So we only want you to eat A, B, and C. So that's what we're going to go ahead and put here. So if you want to eat, if you want your family to eat, you'll come to our store and you'll buy what we tell you to and what's here. I know, let me put my little tinfoil hat on again. But I'm telling you right now, if you don't just look at this as a one-time or a freak thing that, oh, this is just kind of, when you start opening up your mind and looking at the bigger picture of everything that's coming down the line and everything that's been happening and everything that is happening, this just fits right in. It fits right in to what they want. And what they want is to control what we do, what we say, what we eat, what we watch, what we think. Period. End of story. And it all has to do with those 15-minute city ideas. Because now we're going to take the corporates out of the picture. Because we want 15-minute cities, but we want them to be government run. We want them to be, we want to know what they're doing at all times. Corporations may or may not agree, may or may not be on board with this. So what better way to do that than to get rid of them and put government-controlled food sources or stores in these 15-minute cities? Because now you are now dependent on what we give you. You are now dependent on what is available in this store. You know, of course, my mind goes to the worst case scenario on this, but I'm telling you, I think that this is a model. I think that this is a test. I think that there is a lot of people that are keeping an eye on this. And there's a lot of people that's going to be keeping abreast. And with our state that I'm the state that I'm currently in, I can see that happening because we have made a no crime or no punishment, no consequence situation. You can do whatever you want. Well, soon these businesses and corporations are going to start pulling out. They're going to start leaving the area. They're going to start saying, you know what? We can't make money like this. But if we put everything in a warehouse and we tell everybody to order this online, and maybe we have a warehouse pickup location, so you can't go into the stores anymore, but you can drive up, pick up your order and leave, or just order everything online. But that's not going to work for certain items. So those certain items like produce and meats and whatever, that's not going to, dairy stuff might not necessarily work. So what we're going to do is we're going to put government grocery stores in your area that are only going to carry certain things that you can eat, certain things that will help your family survive. But we're going to be very limited. So just know this is now what you're eating. This is now what's going to be available to you. And the bigger stores and the bigger chains and the bigger corporations aren't going to want to deal with food that is perishable. So all the produce and the meats and the dairy and stuff like that, they're not going to want to deal with that. They'll let the government grocery stores deal with that. I think that there is definitely a weird shift that's happening. There's a weird changing that's going on. And I think that this is definitely something to keep in the back of your mind. Don't hyper focus on it, but something to keep in the back of your mind. Definitely another reason why you should absolutely be self-sufficient and self-sustaining and raise your own food and do what you can to make those community connections. That if you can't raise your food, get it from someone who can. Because I don't want to be controlled by a government grocery store. Whether it's city, county, state, federal, doesn't matter. It is a government-based store that they will be in charge of. I don't think I want that. Just a thought, something to think about. To me, it's just, it's a scary thought. And I don't think that we're far down the road from that happening in multiple places. So that's what I have to talk about at this moment. I hope you guys have a wonderful, amazing day. Once again, if you have any questions or comments, please feel free to reach out. Hope you guys have a great day and we'll talk to you soon.